What's up, family? I want to thank you for joining me on this late night broadcast. I want to speak to you a little bit about parenting. I know that parenting is difficult. Me and my wife, my beautiful wife, Jal, had the privilege of raising 4 boys, and we love it. But I know that times have changed from the time that we were having our boys 20 something years ago in their toddler stage to now. There's so many more distractions. There's so many more things happening in the culture that's really attacking parenting. And parenting is difficult just as a human being, but let alone to be a Christian, it's extra hard. So I want to speak to you about parenting specifically in the area of putting your kids to sleep. I had the honor of meeting with one of my clients, a brother in Christ, who is doing just an incredible job as a father, really being there for his wife and being there for his son. And I give him kudos as he's exploring and growing as a man, learning how to manage his anger, learning how to manage the household, learning how to just manage himself. I really see incredible growth in him, and I'm proud of him. But today we had an incredible conversation about something as simple as or difficult as putting your son or your daughter to sleep. And if you have a bunch of little kiddos around the same age, that can be difficult. My son Jacob is 2 years older than my son Jeremiah. Jeremiah is 2 years older than Josiah. Josiah is 2 years older than Joel. We had a chance to go to Orlando this weekend, and my son Joel was in an ESPN AU tournament in Orlando, and I look and I see that, man, time has just flown by. My youngest is 17, my oldest is 24. And I'm telling you, parents, your children are small, they're scrappy, they're cute, and all of this is going to pass faster than you can imagine. So I want to encourage you to be patient with yourself, to not only have high expectations in the sense that you want to raise them up in the Lord, but also lower your expectations in the sense that children lack experience. They just don't have the hindsight that we have. Hindsight is foresight. They just don't have the experience. They have knowledge. They understand language. They think they know a lot. Their hearts are full with pride. You know, the Bible talks a lot about that foolishness is bound up in the heart of children. But they don't have experience. So it does take a deep level of patience. Something that I had to grow into, and I'm probably still growing into if you ask my children. But I'm a lot more patient today at age 50 than I was at age 30 when I started having these little ones. And part of it is also learning that God is involved in the process. The same way that we can't affect the growth of a mango tree or an avocado tree or a vineyard, we really can't affect the growth, the healthy growth of our children. We can plant seeds, we can pour out the water, but we can't make them grow, and we can't make them grow into the kind of men and women that we really want them to be. It really does take grace. It does take divine synergy, or as the ancients said, providence. The pressure is not all on us. The pressure is on God, and He's faithful even when we're faithless. But today I want to give you just a few principles that can help you out with something as simple as putting your kids to sleep. A lot of times, I know for me, and I was able to counsel this young man out of my own foolish experience, we tend to be very binary in our approach to parenting. It's either you obey me or you're going to get punished. And usually for us men who are masculine men, patriarchal men, godly men, it's usually using our voice, threatening them to get spanked, or to do 1,000 push-ups. Look, you can't only do that so many times, and you probably shouldn't be so quick to spank them. What we really need to do is become more creative. We need to become creative problem solvers and go beyond just the binary, obey me or this happens. But to start understanding their psyche, their soul, the fact that they lack experience but are sponges. And I'm going to give you some practical, biblical, simple tips to not only engage the imagination of your children, but inspire them to want to go to bed when it's time to go to bed. Some kids are very hyperactive. I know one of my sons, Josiah, he was very energetic when it came time to go to bed because he's a night owl like his father. And some kids are very tired. As soon as it hits 8 p.m., 9 p.m., like my son Jacob, he was ready to knock out. Your kids have different temperaments, different body chemistries. So you got to deal with them in general ways where the same law, the same rule applies to all of them, but also in very contextual and specific ways. And that's okay because God deals with us in very specific ways too. Some things that are not a sin for one person may be a sin for you. Romans 14, Paul talks about these issues of conscience, these secondary disputable matters that are very personal, cultural, and connected to someone's conscience. And there's room for that in Christian ethics. The personal, the individual, the cultural, and how they see things and what their conscience allows them to do and what their conscience restricts them from doing. And they just don't feel good and they feel like they're sinning against God. And so your kids are that way. There's certain things that your kids are going to be able to do and want to do that they're not going to see as sins. And maybe there isn't no New Testament scripture or an Old Testament precedent for why you want them to go to bed at 9 instead of 10 or 11 instead of 8 p.m. And why one Christian family does have their kids go to bed early and another one doesn't. It doesn't matter. So what do you want, mom and dad? And how does that fit into that one particular child's temperament or body type or energy level? Okay? So hopefully some of these tips that I'm going to share with you will be very helpful. And I'm going to break it down like this. Physical exercise is something you need to take serious consideration of. Relaxing bath and shower, using soaps that have herbal properties in them that can go into their pores and really calm them down. Sleepytime tea and a balanced diet, okay? Meaningful storytelling, engaging their imagination, making up stories, making up characters that they can connect with. Fifthly, worship music, okay? Sixthly, audible bedtime stories. Seventh, sticker chart rewards. And eighth, morning praise and family support. Okay, so we'll actually deal with some of these issues. Okay, so let's deal with this first one, physical exercise. Okay, some of your kids are so hyper, even if they're in school, preschool, kindergarten. The exercise they're getting is not enough, okay? And there is such a thing as wearing your kids out, okay? That is a strategy. I remember my wife, when she lived with her aunt and uncle, the Browns, she said that they would do that with their children. They would wear them out, especially Jonathan. He, I guess, was just incredible and had high energy and would play games and do things. And I think he was a youth pastor for many years, and that youth pastor energy allowed him to understand that kids have physical energy. They have energy that sometimes stops them from just going to bed at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or 8 p.m., whatever your bedtime is. So it's important for us parents to have our children exercising, moving their bodies very young, 3 years old, 4 years old, 2 years old, and for them not to be sitting in front of a television or a tablet or YouTube all day. That creates nervous energy, okay? It's good for them to use their bodies, to grow their muscles. Wear these kids out. So if you have a kid that as soon as it's 9 p.m., they're jumping around on the bed and and they're wanting to wrestle and they're playing around. You know what? You didn't wear them out enough, mom, dad. And why do we stop doing that? Because we get lazy. It's too much work to take them to the park and let them play on the swings and run around and play on their little tricycles every single day. And that's why the Bible talks a lot about how the plans of the diligent leads to profit. Like, parenting takes diligence, takes energy. You just got to decide that until these kids grow up, you're not in your vibe chill mode anymore, okay? It doesn't mean you need to be all high strung and angry, but you're more in a high energy, let's make this fun mode, okay? You'll have your time to relax when the kids go to bed, and you and your wife can turn on some Snow Allegra and get some nice snacks and just vibe, with them go to sleep. That's why you got to get them to sleep. Don't let your kids win the battle of sleep. Not only when they sleep and where they sleep, okay? Or it'll mess up your whole intimate, romantic sex life until they're, 12, 13, 14 years old. And basically because you've done it to yourself. And one of the things is we're not diligent in wearing them out. So it's important for us to wear them out. Have them involved in soccer, in baseball, very young, okay? Not just the arts that takes a lot of mental, creative energy, but physical energy, okay? Find the things they love to do. Tennis, running, riding their bikes, but make sure that your kids are wearing themselves out, okay? Strategy 2, relaxing baths and showers. So imagine after dinner, your 5-year-old, you go for a jog, a 2-mile jog, a 1-mile jog around your community, and you have your son or your daughters riding along on their bike or running with you, okay? But when they get back, boom, throw them into the bath, throw them into the shower, get some soaps that have herbal properties that will relax them, get into their pores, okay? I don't care how much you think that your son or daughter can overcome natural law. They can't, okay? Wear them out. Now, some people do get more hype when they exercise, but that hypeness, it's like adrenaline. It goes up and it brings them down. And that's why some of the other strategies I'm going to give you, by the time that their adrenaline starts coming down and you do the other things that I'm recommending, you're going to see these kids knocking out within 30 minutes, at most 60 minutes by the time they hit their bed, okay? That's maximum. I mean, I'll doubt whether they make it past 20 to 30 minutes. But the second strategy is give them relaxing showers, okay? Using, again, soaps and ingredients that are really going to help. Again, where do you find these things? Google it. Go to ChatGPT, go to Amazon. You'll find tons of organic, herbal soaps and things that are going to be a great investment into the bedtime routine. Thirdly, consider having Sleepytime tea with your children. Like if you go to Amazon and type in Sleepytime tea for kids, there's tons of herbal teas out there with licorice or chamomile that literally hey, we're gonna and make this a tradition, make this a nightly routine where it's like, hey, now we're gonna have our tea, and they're literally drinking these incredible ingredients that come from the earth. Okay, you don't want to medicate these kids. You don't want to be eager to medicate them. You want to use all the organic and natural tools and resources that God has given to you. Okay, very important. Okay, and then you also want to get into storytelling. Okay, storytelling is very, very important. Okay, storytelling is basically as you have them get into their mattress and put their sheets over them, find characters and heroes and images and pictures and things that they love, okay? Let's say in that room your son or daughter has a teddy bear. Make up a story with their teddy bear. Maybe the teddy bear's name is Tammy. Make Tammy the teddy bear the hero. You gotta have to use your freestyle imagination here, parents. and put your children into the story. And since they don't like to go to bed, make the story where Tammy, the teddy bear hero, and your son Johnny, the Jedi, Johnny the Jedi, are gonna go to battle against the dark monsters that steal children's teddy bears. And one day, while they were playing at the park, a monster by the name of Magneto, I used to just grab from different stories. I'd grab from the Bible, I'd grab from, SpongeBob. I would just grab from anywhere. Okay, your kids don't know. They're 5 years old. They're 4 years old. They don't know. It just knows. They just see that mom and dad is animated as you start making up these characters. So again, this teddy bear and your son Johnny, the Jedi, are going to war against this monster Magneto that steals kids' teddy bears. Don't make it too gruesome and scary. And the only way that they can, your first story can start out with, the only way that they can get their energy, life source power is they have to get enough sleep time. So Johnny, the Jedi's dad, told him, hey, son, you got to go to bed so that you can have power to fight the monsters that steal people's teddy bears. And that night, Johnny the Jedi decided to go to bed at 9 p.m., just like his dad told him, and he woke up so energized. And the next day, when the monsters came to take more teddy bears, Johnny the Jedi pulled out his sleeping lifesaver. And with this sleeping lifesaver, he was able to overcome these monsters, and he cut off their head. Maybe that's a little too gruesome. I don't know. You got to decide. I used to go all the way in on my stories. And my kids loved it. And basically, in the story, I'm literally implicitly teaching my sons. And I used to do this all the time. I would connect the stories to actual behavioral issues that we were having with them. And showing them that if they ate their veg, like this hero, Johnny the Jedi and Tommy the teddy bear ate his vegetables and did his kindergarten homework, or listened to his mommy and daddy, or loved God and did whatever God wanted him to do. I was putting in these like off the cuff freestyle stories. I was literally teaching them moral lessons. And you could start with the moral lesson that sleeping gives you energy to fight monsters and demons. Again, just use your imagination. But storytelling, now guess what? They've already ran around, burned all this energy. They've already taken a shower with your herbal soaps. They've already drank their chamomile or whatever Sleepytime tea, because if you buy it on Amazon, I should become a seller for Amazon. They have different flavors. Drink with them. Make this a fellowship time. And now you're telling them a story. You're engaging their imagination. You're teaching them implicitly moral truths like Jesus would in the New Testament. I mean, you're a rock star mom and dad, okay? Fifthly, man, turn on some worship music. Put in their room in Amazon the Alexa, or put one of those the Google things that you can speak into it and it plays meditation or worship music. I did that a lot. I would have Hillsong and different worship musicians, Ron Canoli playing in the background, and my kids loved it. And they used to go to sleep just listening to worship music. Or you can just play worship instrumentals and lay there with them for 5-10 minutes, holding them, maybe even humming or worshiping with them. And then you can just get up and move away. Another thing I used to do, I used to like to mix it up, because I don't like doing things, I hate redundancy. And your kids probably don't like redundancy. They get bored and you don't want to be predictable. And I would also do audio Christian bedtime stories. And now there's tons of them. There's stories everywhere on YouTube. You can find them in Google Music, on iTunes. And you can have one of those speakers that sit up high up on a shelf. It's not like they can go play with it. And you can just turn it on. It'll play it all night. Guess what? Their linguistic skills are increasing. They're moving into another phase of imaginative use of their brain. So again, but you gotta have to be diligent, mom, dad. You can't be lazy. You can't come home and just say, you know what, I'm done for the day. You're done once they go to bed. Then you get to relax and enjoy one another, enjoy some good Netflix movies, enjoy some prayer, open heart discussions, and you will wake up energized in the morning because you did things right the previous day. Seventhly, consider sticker charts. Hey, son, also, if you're like this hero who gets his sleep, every morning for the next 30 days, I'm going to give you a sticker. And if you get 30 stickers and you could put up on a chart, you could buy the chart from IKEA or Walgreens or somewhere. So you don't want them putting stickers everywhere in the home. But if you're one of those parents that doesn't care, who cares? But if you get 30 of them, you get to buy your favorite video game or favorite whatever, toy. But you can make this really fun. But imagine after 30 days, you've developed a sleeping pattern that's going to change the rhythm of your home. Again, don't let your kids have control because you're setting a precedent. That is, they go to bed when they want to go to bed. They go to bed where they want to go to bed. They eat what they want to eat. No, you don't want to just threaten them with spankings and beatings all the time. You want to use your creative mind. You want to be one step ahead of them. You want to use their imagination. You want to wear them out. You want to be respectful of their bodies and their energy level. You want to bring God into it with Christian worship and prayer and meditation and storytelling that includes Jesus. I would include Jesus in my stories. Jesus would come in fighting Darth Vader and all kinds of stuff. Okay? And then eighthly, you want to, I forgot this. Oh man, let me see. Let me see here. Eighthly, sorry about that. I miswrote this. You want to praise your kids. Okay? The next morning, man, Joey, you did it. You went to bed at 9 p.m. and you got energy power like Johnny the Jedi or Joey the Jedi. You just want to make it a big deal for the first 30 days. Positive affirmation. Make things a big deal. Because honestly, we're always telling our kids no. We're always, we end up disciplining them so much that we just got to go crazy with the praises. And be very intentional and exaggerated, especially when they're young, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guarantee you, mom or dad, as God gives you wits and wisdom, you're going to do an incredible job in impacting your kids. All right? Let me know if this parental tip that comes out of real stupid experiences and great victorious experiences that me and my wife, Jal, have had helps you. And give us your feedback. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on our Facebook podcast, Hakimian Podcast. And just share your comments. Let me know how this particular touched you. And share with me some of the things that you do as a parent to put your kids to sleep without wanting to kill them. Figuratively kill them, of course. All right. Much love, peace, and God bless you. And may the Holy Spirit strengthen you, parents. And hear him as the encourager, as the paraclete, telling you also, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. Okay? Yes, we all need to grow, but anyone who's sticking in there and trying to pray for your kids and discipline them and love them and hug them and kiss them and be there for them, be proud of yourself, man, because the Father is proud of you.
Welcome to the Hakimian Podcast, where we dive deep into life, embracing the contrast. From culture to faith, art to finances, politics and everything in between, we're taking chances. Hakimian Podcast, we shine a light, exploring all the life from day to night. Nothing is off the table, we keep it real. Diverse perspectives, the truth we reveal.